We often hear students saying they couldn't find the answer, so they left a blank. But this is not what you should do. Remember, there's no negative marking, so putting in any answer is surely better than no answer. At least you have a chance. You should make an educated guess in this case. In other words, you should choose the most likely answer. Even if you have no idea about a question, you still have a 20 to 30% chance of getting it right. But how do you know which is the most likely? One way of doing this is by eliminating unlikely answers. In multiple choice questions, crossing out answers which do not agree with the meaning of the text can increase the chance of choosing the right answer to 50%. Then, of course, you make the wisest choice of the two left. For example, if a text is about the dangers of ecstasy from drugs, then anything positive about unprescribed drugs would probably be wrong. Or, in the previous example about water, if we read that water is not very important, we would immediately eliminate that option. Also, by understanding the purpose of the writer, you can eliminate unlikely answers. In an argumentative text, for example, the writer is presenting his opinion about a topic and he's supporting it. It's normally quite obvious if he has a positive or a negative opinion about the particular topic. In many cases, just from the title or from the first paragraph. So if you have a yes, no, not given type of question, you may be able to choose an answer which seems to agree with the writer's opinion. Another point to take note of is, if your answer does not fit in the sentence grammatically and does not make sense, then it's very likely to be the wrong answer. Finally, in summary or gapped sentence types questions, the answer is unlikely to be a synonym for the word in the question. So these are the tips we talked about to help you choose the most likely answer and avoid leaving a blank. Of course, think about these things. Does your answer fit grammatically? Does it make sense? And is it likely that the answer you've chosen supports the writer's opinion? Let's look at some examples to illustrate what I'm talking about. Look at this example from a summary question. A leading psychologist has something, a mathematical equation to work out the number of hours required at the beginning of a holiday to... And the text reads, the formula devised by Miss Quilliam is calculated thus. Now, thinking about the kind of question I need here, I predict that I need a verb. It would make sense and it would fit to have a verb in the past participle. Look at the text again. The formula devised by Miss Quilliam is calculated. Well, calculated is a verb in the past participle, but can that be the answer? Well, no, it can't, because calculated is a synonym for to work out. So the answer is devised, because that is a verb in the past participle. It fits grammatically in this space, and even if I don't know what the word means, I think it's logical that it means made up or created, and I choose that answer. So you can see that even without knowing what the word means, don't leave a space. Put the word that is most logical and fits grammatically into the space. Let's look at another example. This is a yes, no, not given type of question. First, we look at the title and try to get an idea of the purpose of the writer. An answer to the belief that British people cannot learn languages. Now, this is obviously an argumentative language passage, and do you think that the writer is giving excuses for the fact that the British can't learn languages? to support them, or is he making fun of them or criticizing them? Remember, it says an answer to the belief. So I think it's more likely he's on their side. So if there's any question criticizing the ability of the British to learn languages, I think it's likely to be false. Let's look at the yes, no, not given questions. Number 1 says, the number of English speakers worldwide makes it unnecessary for British tourists to learn languages. As we said, this seems to give an excuse for why they can't learn languages. So even if I can't find the answer, I would predict that this is yes or true, because it seems to support them. Then we verify our answer from the text. When millions of Brits take their annual holidays abroad, local tourism, travel, catering and retail staff are all trained in at least rudimentary English. So there's little motivation to learn more than a couple of words for a few days' stay. So we verify our answer. From the text we can see that he is giving a good excuse for why they don't need to learn languages. Let's look at question 2. The lack of linguistic skills within British companies has resulted in business being lost. Now, based on our knowledge of what the writer believes, do we think this is likely to be yes, no, or not given? Well, it's unlikely that the writer is saying that British companies are losing business because they don't know English. He's obviously giving another cause of the problem, not the fact that the British can't learn languages. So this one is unlikely to be true. Let's look at the text. The canard here is that we lose out because our businessmen and women can't keep up with the local lingo. But surely it's our competitiveness and the attraction of lucrative offers that count. So you can see here the answer is no, as we predicted. It's very unlikely that this writer will criticize the fact that British people cannot learn languages. He is giving excuses for them and supporting them.